102 riders lining up here for the final stage of the Aviva Tour of Britain. 14 laps of a 6.2 kilometre circuit. Owain Doull there in the blue jersey as leader on the points. Edvald Boasson-Hagen, the leader on the race. And there wearing the Skoda King of the Mountains jersey, Peter Williams. He's already won that crown. That finished yesterday. But there's still a lot at stake. And Owain Doull has started the stage today in fourth position overall, just 1 second behind Gullhammer, and he of course is expected to try and pick up the time bonuses in the early stages, and that's exactly what happened with Bradley Wiggins coming onto the front for Team Wiggins, setting the pace very high for Owain Doull.
It was a very first start, and Team Wiggins really trying to keep everything together for that first sprint.
And as they came up the finishing funnel for the first sprint, it was Russell Downing, the former British champion, riding for Colt, that picked up the 3 seconds, but the 2 that Owain Doull picked up for second, so important because it meant he moved ahead of Gullhammer in the overall standings, and that gave him 3rd place overall.
So a very good 2 seconds bonus there for Owain Doull. As you said, pops him into 3rd overall, but many attacks happened just after that sprint.
There was a group went clear: Tom Stewart, Ian Bibby, Christian House, Morgan Kanitsky, Charles Planet, and they went away, but they were quickly pulled back. And then another group went off the front: Ian Bibby, Danilo Vies, the Swiss champion, Matt Cronshaw, Karol Domagalski from Rally. There was problems at the back for one of the Spanish riders, and that was Iziguirre. But the group at the front, containing Dylan van Baarle as well, Yuri Sagan and Richard Handley, certainly started to work well, and at one point had a lead of around about half a minute.
So after a very fast start, we had an incident earlier on also with one of the Novo Nordisk riders, Planet, and he mounted and continued on racing.
And Planet had been a member of that very first group that went clear off the front of the peloton. Well, they were on borrowed time, the leading group, because behind, there we are, the bunch had got, of course, all the hot contenders for the stage, and so really it was all a matter of how long the leaders could stay clear.
So the danger man in this group of 8 was in fact last year's winner, Dylan van Baarle, just taking a 3-second bonus there. He started the day at 59 seconds in 8th position.
So Dylan van Baarle, riding on the Cannondale Garmin team, was rather eager to get on with it and fan the flames at the front. There was no chance really that he could get further enough up the road to get the overall lead, but the peloton then in the closing stages began to lift the tempo significantly.
So throughout the whole stage, it was the team of the yellow jersey, MTN Quebec, plus Team Sky riding on the front of the peloton just to keep any attacks at bay.
And then there was a late attack with approximately 1.5 laps left. Matt Cronshaw of Madison Genesis decided he would take it on. It was a very brave effort.
Yeah, just going through Trafalgar Square for the penultimate time. And the gap is still a mere 100 metres.
And immediately there was a reaction off the front by Danilo Vies, the Swiss champion. There was no way that this man was going to lie down. So aggressive throughout the stage.
So Wies, the 30-year-old Swiss rider, riding for BMC, but it was the British champion Peter Kenyuk that brought it all back together.
So the whole field reassembled as they came up to the finishing funnel to the bell. And then we were greeted to the side of Bradley Wiggins on the extreme left, and Dibben of Team Wiggins trying to set it up in the final sprint for Owain Doull.
So Reinhard Janse van Rensburg was looking after the yellow jersey, but on the left it was the team of Andrew Greipel that were starting to mass.
The red jerseys of Lotto Soudal trying to look after Greipel. De Boucheret was in there to try and release him finally. The yellow jersey in the mix as well of the overall winner, and that was Boasson-Hagen. Etix Quickstep took it on as they came to the final corner.
So it was Mark Renshaw leading out here from De Boucheret Greipel as they headed up the finishing straight.
But then on the right, Greipel began to ignite the burners, and then he closed the door on Viviani, the Italian. And it was Greipel that crossed the line first, but Viviani was clearly unhappy with that, pointing across to Greipel. And Lobato of Movistar, the Spaniard, clinched a 3rd position. And that was a sprint that we both said straight away we're going to hear more about it. Now here's a chance once again to take a look.
Just look at the speed again from Viviani coming up the left-hand side, but Greipel said, no, you don't. Close the door on him. And Viviani at this stage had to settle for seconds.
And over the line, as you saw in the previous shot, he was gesticulating as much as to say that is not going to count. Just look at this, the big broad shoulders and the elbow pushing the Italian almost into the barriers. And there's no way at all, after you've been checked like that you can once again accelerate and get back into contention. So it was Greipel that crossed the line first. Good positioning by Bosenhagen, and further back in the blue, and that was Owain Doull. And Owain Doull's position there, of course, secured his third position and the win in the points. So Greipel did throw his arms in the air to claim the victory, but it was actually looked at by the judges in the television truck, and the decision was made to relegate Greipel to the back of the peloton. And so it was Viviani that celebrated on the podium in London to claim the concluding stage from Labato and Trantin from Ethics Quickstep. And the yellow jersey, the first man ever to win the race twice, Edvald Bosenhagen from Wout Poels, and Owain Doull clinching third position. A happy Norwegian making history in the heart of London. General classification confirmed Edvald Bosenhagen then the winner by 13 seconds from Wout Poels of Sky, and Owain Doull, the young British rider on Team Wiggins, third at 42 seconds.